I want to give a fresh perspective on this entire situation with Activision sending a cease and desist to the project known as SM2, which was a project planning to create the ultimate Call of Duty game for free by Call of Duty mod makers. I've seen a lot of videos with people complaining about the SM2 project getting shut down, but I haven't seen anyone giving any real solutions. And today, I want to give you a real solution. If you are a member of the SM2 community, or any related project for that matter, I want you to pay attention, because I am going to tell you the only viable way to save the project you love. And I want to start this by addressing the problem. The studios behind the games that you love so much, like Call of Duty and Battlefield, are increasingly tightening their control over these games. They are removing the features that you love from the game and aggressively targeting anyone who tries to use the game for anything other than its original intended purpose. I have been warning about this issue for years, so much so that I started my own video game project purely to avoid these problems. Our community was frustrated with how we were being treated by these studios, so we decided to cut ties with the studios that built these games and create our own game that didn't have any limitations. And our game is currently free on Steam, and although it's still in early access and requires more work, it is a fully standalone game built from scratch. My proposal to the SM2 community is simple. I want to help you do the same thing. And having experienced persecution from the same kind of people who are targeting you, I know what it takes to break free from that situation. And while other modifications and projects have been destroyed by these same studios who shut you down, our project has remained untouched. Why? Because we are completely independent. We are not a mod. We are not a game remaster. We are a fully standalone game created by a community that wanted to make our own experience. Despite people saying it was impossible, we did it, and we're still going. Now, I understand that some of you might think that creating your own game will take a lot of time and resources, and you might be right if it wasn't for one thing. And this is the exciting part. I want to use our game to make your game for you. One of the coolest things about our game is that we have created Operation Harsh Doorstop in a way where it is completely modular. This means that the core code base of Operation Harsh Doorstop can be branched to create an entirely separate, standalone game using our project's framework. We were actually inspired by projects like Project Reality, which is a standalone game utilizing the Battlefield 2 framework. We have achieved an almost identical setup with Operation Harsh Doorstop, and I would like to use that to save the SM2 community. So here is my proposal. Once Operation Harsh Doorstop reaches version 1.0, with all of the basic features of games like Battlefield or Call of Duty, like vehicles, first-person shooter mechanics, matchmaking, etc., we will create a standalone version of the game that the SM2 community or any other Call of Duty community can join. This version of the project will provide a completely free Call of Duty inspired experience, safe from cease and desist orders and safe from retaliation from studios like Activision or Electronic Arts. You might wonder if this is even possible. Well, not only is it possible, but we've already done it. If you're not aware of the project Warfare 1944, this is a project currently owned by Microprose. We previously approached the Microprose Studio with a similar proposal. If you use our framework, you can create entirely standalone first-person shooter games at a mere fraction of the cost that it would take to develop them from scratch. And with our framework, they created a completely standalone game entirely separate from Operation Harsh Doorstop. So the point is, we can do the exact same thing for the SM2 community. If you can help our project reach the 1.0 milestone, we will have all the main features you need to build a fully standalone game with all the features required for a fully fledged first-person shooter, both multiplayer and single player. If that doesn't excite you, I don't know what will. And I hope after watching Activision crucify your projects and rip your heart out, all of you are going to realize, even though building an entirely standalone project is the harder option, in the end, it is the only option. And not only is this possible to make happen right now, I will make it possible for you. I have been forging this path for years, so that way you do not have to. And if I can get your support, I promise you that we will be able to do the things that you've wanted to do, that none of these studios have allowed you to do. So look, I'm going to make this very simple. I have a poll on YouTube. If you think this is a good idea, go vote on that poll. Do you want to see an SM3 project utilizing Unreal Engine and the OHD core framework? If yes, then vote yes. If no, vote no, and I'll never bring this up again. But if you all are as sick as I am with these projects that people have put years of their life into getting snuffed out in an instant, and you want to make something that lasts, please join me in our cause to make something that we all want, that these people cannot touch and they cannot shut down. If we do this, it will be done forever, and the entire industry surrounding these games will change. If you want that, please tell me, and let's make it happen. Besides that, thanks so much for watching. Remember to subscribe, and hopefully, I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.